going on, guys? Hey, normally I don't like to do videos like this. One, this is that elusive day job I tell you guys about. And, it's poor sound quality. I'm on the road. You see a bunch of boxes back here because I'm doing my job. So I'm not really a big fan of recording on the road, being the guy in the car. I see enough of those guys, and they can do what they want, but I prefer to be at home with the studio set up. So that's just me. But that being said, there is a reason I'm releasing this video. Right now, I'm in a mountain pass, if you can't tell from the trees over here, through the smeared dog window. Yeah, that's what happens when you have a dog. You clean the windows, and the next day it looks like that again. Yeah, I got to get this detailed. Forgive me, it's a work vehicle. Do what I want. Yeah, but look, let's cut to the chase. Yesterday, June 23rd. Yeah, yesterday was June 23rd. The Supreme Court decided that they were going to say that all 50 states did in fact have the right to carry firearms, which should already be a given. I feel like there's been a mission creep on the Second Amendment for at least the past 100 years. If you guys still think that you have Second Amendment rights, you can, but you're going to have to fight like hell. They're coming for your rights. They want to remove firearms completely. Okay, that's what you need to understand. The second that they put exceptions to the rule of shall not be infringed, the Second Amendment was already screwed. And some of you might disagree, and that's fine. I wouldn't want you to agree with everything I say anyway. I want you to think for yourselves, draw your own conclusions, but I'm going to lay this out for you as briefly as I can. So, let's say we start off with this one. Guy goes to jail. Maybe he decided to smoke some illegal substance. He comes out. He's totally reformed. Was a good boy, followed all the rules, terms and conditions of his parole, probation, whatever it wound up being. But the government says you no longer have the right to defend yourself, your family, friends, or anyone, including yourself. That's unconstitutional, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because it quite clearly says in the Constitution, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Not shall be infringed when we, come up with some reason or excuse, or we decide the court can intervene with the Second Amendment. No, shall not be infringed. Now keep in mind, the government, the only thing it can do, the only thing it's good at is taking away rights. It does not give rights, and I'm sorry about the background noise. It's raining. So again, I need to get this video out because I feel it's important for you guys. We're not sticking on the Second Amendment topic, but I'm alluding to a point here. So then you have, if you've ever visited a mental institution, you lose your right to keep and bear arms. If you ever decided to legally, in certain states, statewide legally anyway, you decide to smoke a certain grass, if you get what I'm saying there, and you have a card that happens to be red in nature, then you lose your right to keep and bear arms. Shall not be infringed. Do you see where I'm going with this? So for the last 100 years or so, they have slowly chipped away at the rights of the people to keep and bear arms that shall not be infringed. So anybody that is in my opinion, and you can take my opinion, throw it in the trash, it's my opinion. Anybody that says they are pro-Second Amendment, but then says, well, this person shouldn't be allowed to own a firearm, that person shouldn't be allowed to own a firearm, then you don't support the Second Amendment because you have a reading problem. It says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I don't think you can make that any more clear. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. Period. Now look, if you're incarcerated, you're behind bars, you've already lost your rights, you've forfeited those. But the second you get out, you should have all those rights restored immediately. End of story. There actually is a state out there, can't remember the state, you can look this up, where after a person is released from prison, they are to be given, 20 ounces of gold, a horse, and a firearm immediately after release. You can look that up before the internet deletes that from existence, but it's there. You can look that up. Anyway, fast forward to today. A lot of states are cracking down. Some states don't allow you to open carry. Some states say you can't carry outside of your home. On and on and on and on and on. Some states, certain counties, certain cities won't even let you own a firearm. Unconstitutional. They keep chipping away bit by bit. They started with criminals because you guys would all get on board with that, of course. Sure. They're a criminal. Why should they have the right? Well, a lot of these criminals, these reformed criminals, they get out of jail, they have a family, they have kids, they have a job, they're a functioning member of society, just like you or I. They deserve their rights immediately reinstated, period. I'm sorry, if you're not in prison or on parole or on probation, your Second Amendment rights should be automatically restored, including all of your rights, period. It is not up to the government to decide after you have been reformed, released from prison, to then keep you away from having your rights, period. That goes with the same with the 20 years ago, guy got checked in because he was having depression and maybe some self-deletion thoughts, right? He lost his right to bear arms. That's completely wrong. Should be reinstated. You chose to smoke some green stuff. No. Again, that's totally wrong. But see, that's how they justify it. They can get you on board with that because you'll go, oh yeah, well, of course criminals shouldn't be. Well, they're not criminals anymore. They committed a crime. If they're out and they've been, reformed, which means they met the conditions of parole, then they're not criminals anymore. They are prior convicted felons. They're not. They shouldn't be serving a life sentence. And if they are serving a life sentence, guess what? They don't have rights and they're in prison anyway. Otherwise, that's my opinion on it. Again, if you like that, sure. If you don't, throw it in the trash. Move on. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not here to make you agree with me. I'm just stating my opinion. Now, let's move on. It's convenient, as if they knew, that the Supreme Court ruled yesterday that you have the right to carry, period. So New York, California, they can't tell you can't have a firearm. That doesn't mean that you can open carry. It may still mean that you need to conceal carry. It will affect states like Colorado, restricting you to be able to carry in national wildlife parks. So there are some implications there, which quite frankly, we shouldn't even be having this debate, shall not be infringed, and I'm going to stick to that, okay? But they released that ruling the day before today, which is the 24th of June, 2022, and today they overruled Roe v. Wade, right? And we all know that the liberals have been up in arms about this. I'll just give you my opinion. Again, you don't have to agree with it, but I don't think there's a fundamental right for women or men, but in this case women, to choose to kill, period. They've been able to prove now that you can detect a heartbeat up to as early as 6 weeks into the pregnancy. And in my opinion, once there's a heartbeat, that is life. If you guys feel so inclined, and I feel like you should, just so you can see exactly what this process is, this procedure is, go online, YouTube is probably your best bet. But search for the process of an abortion, an animated clip, preferably. It's already bad enough when it's animated, but if you watch the actual thing, it's far worse. I don't even know if that's on YouTube. There's an animated video. It's an infant being aborted at 11 weeks old. And in the process, they explain that they essentially stick a vacuum tube up the uterus, which is 20 times more powerful than your house vacuum. And the infant is ripped limb from limb, piece by piece, and sucked into a vacuum. In my opinion, that's murder. That's wrong. And that's just how I feel about it. You know, years ago, maybe I didn't know as much about it. Maybe I didn't care to investigate it as much. And my opinion was fairly neutral. But at this point in my life, I'm pretty cut and dry. You have plenty of decisions you can make before pregnancy. Abstinence being the first one. You can choose, several forms of birth control for women over 10. There is the use of condoms. I'm allergic to condoms is not an excuse. They're lambskin condoms. There's several other forms. There's spermicide. Women will make this excuse all the time. Well, I shouldn't have to use birth control because it can cause seizures and all sorts of other problems and hormone imbalance. That's fine. Ladies, that excuse is invalid. There are plenty of other options that you have. Like I said, abstinence is the first one. If you can't make responsible sexual decisions, you shouldn't be having sex to begin with, period. So I guess in reality, nothing's going to change. These liberals don't seem to understand that either. It just put it back to the states to make up the determination whether they want to have abortion legal in their state or not. So in reality, ladies, if you want an abortion, you're more than welcome to get one in a liberal state near you. For the rest of us, though, who don't agree with abortion, those states will say no. And it is your choice to leave. Again, it is a choice, ladies. You're not being forced, coerced. Nobody's holding a boomstick to your head and telling you what to do. If you don't like your state's laws, then leave. Well, I can't leave. I don't have enough money. I don't care. Figure it out. That's your responsibility. That's not my responsibility or any of the other voters that don't agree with you. So, your choice. If you want to be irresponsible with your sexual decisions, you figure it out. Alternatively, you could take the several steps that it takes before pregnancy and avoid pregnancy altogether. Like I said, the number one way to prevent a pregnancy is to not even engage in sex. It's called abstinence. Ladies, I know that you have had this thing called the sexual revolution since the 60s. You've had birth control, you've had abortion, and you feel like you can just do whatever you want, up to and including murder of your own children. In my opinion, and I am not even, I am not a Christian. I don't claim to be one at this point. My life has taken a different direction. I am not an atheist. I'm not agnostic. I'd rather not get into my beliefs here. But I still do acknowledge evil. And killing your own children and advocating for the murder of children is evil, period. So, regardless of my beliefs, I recognize evil when I see it, and child murder is evil. That being said, I think we've covered those two topics. It's very important to understand that the Supreme Court did release that you are legally able, constitutionally allowed to carry a firearm the day before they shot down a bunch of liberals' feelings about certain practices regarding abortion. Okay? Now, that being said, if you are living in a major city right now, I strongly suggest you get away from the downtown areas. You get away from any areas where you see traffic starting to congest. You get away from any areas where you start seeing crowds forming. If at all possible, you get out of the city altogether. It's going to get bad. It's going to get really bad if you remember 2020, the mostly peaceful protests. That's what I'm going to call them. We already know what they are. They are what they are. $200 billion in damage within the first 6 months in this country. In the same neighborhoods that they were saying mattered. So, you already know how the liberals behave when things like this occur. A lot of them don't even care about the issue. They're just looking for a reason to riot. Oh, there's that word. Be mostly peaceful. So, if you're living in a major area, these riots will likely start tonight and will go through the weekend. You already know that the police forces are slim to none right now. We've had, not only because of the coup and being told that you will be poked and jabbed and prodded or you won't work on the police force, but also because of the defund police. A lot of police quit there too and decided, well, if that's how you feel, then we're not going to work for you. If you make a call to 911 in this country and you live in a major city, you may not just wait a few hours, you may wait a few days to get a response from the police, if at all. They may choose not to even come. They may consider you not a priority, and they may not even show up. Even if your life is in danger, that includes your family, your friends, whoever, they may choose that you're not an important call. Okay? That being said, understand the police have no obligation to protect you. That has also been decided in the Supreme Court. Their only job is to enforce their laws. Therefore, back the blue. Sorry, can't do that anymore because they have no legal obligation to protect you. To protect and serve is not their duty. Their duty is simply to enforce, arrest, and get people, put into the jail. That's it. That's their only job. Okay? Now, that being said, the country's really screwed up right now. It's really divided. I would expect there to be a lot of violence coming. I'm not advocating for it, but I will tell you, if you have the legal right to carry, I know what I just said earlier, but please understand that I'm not advocating for anything other than, at this point, I do need to change it, but at this point, if you are legally allowed to carry, you may consider doing so at this time. Again, if you're living in a major city, I suggest getting out as soon as possible. There's really no reason to be there, especially in a downtown area. I do live in a major city, and even the outskirts, usually violence tends to escalate. So, this may not affect you if you're in a rural area. More than likely not. But most of you more than likely live in a populated area, whether it's one of the most populated United States cities or even one close to. You will see riots. So, it's my strong recommendation that you stay safe, you stay vigilant, you stay, armed if legally able to. Again, you need to follow those laws, whether they're constitutional or not, because you staying out of jail is also important, because you can't defend your family if you're not around. So, that being said, you guys need to be smart. You understand this is probably going to go on for a while. It will start tonight, again, June 24th, 2022. I don't see that going away for a while. If you remember, the mostly fire and peaceful protests lasted over 6 months and did over $200 billion in property damage, as well as a few people got deleted in the process, and several got injured. So, like I said, impromptu video. Not really my favorite thing to do. Nothing's more fun than driving with crappy sound quality and trying to get a message out. Not a fan. This is 2022. I try to be more professional than that. Might have worked 10 years ago when I was doing YouTube, but I got to do what I got to do. And I feel like if I've waited until later tonight to get this message out, some of you may already be in the situation. It may be too late. And I understand that not a lot of you are going to watch this video, but those of you that do, please share this with as many people as you can. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on right now. Again, you can take my opinion and agree with it or throw it in the trash on the way out. I don't care. But what I do care about is that you are safe and that you're not in the middle of violence. Because right now, with the way the country's going, people are looking for an excuse anyway. It doesn't just relate to this Roe V Wade thing. I mean, you've got inflation at an historic all-time high, highest it's ever been. Gas prices highest they've ever been. People are losing jobs. Trucking companies are shutting down. Food shortages are happening. I can go on and on. You guys already know. You're probably seeing it every day yourselves. So, like I said, there's a lot of people that are angry right now. A lot of people just looking for a reason to start something. And this Roe v. Wade is a catalyst that will lead to a lot of violence, unfortunately, in the state. And as I told you guys, I feel we're already in a civil war. I agree with Terrence Popp over at Redonkulous.com on that, 100%. As he said, it's a cold civil war right now, but something like this could very well make it go hot. So that is up to you guys to make the right decisions. If I were you, I'd stay far away from it. There's no reason to engage in riots, protests, or any of that, even if you are on the opposition to what they're protesting about. There's no reason to be there. Let them talk to an empty crowd of no one. That's my advice. There's no reason. You may feel tempted if you're a member of the press, independent press. I'm not talking about you big news organizations who are not going to tell the truth anyway. But if you're a member of the independent press, you may feel like you need to go and be a part of this. I would urge you not to, for your safety. Again, regardless of which side you might take on this. Most of my viewers are probably in agreement with most of the things I've said. However, some of you may be of opposing views and think that you can go get some footage and be safe. Keep in mind, There have been people that have tried to do that in the past, and they wind up being deleted. So, if I were you, I'd stay far away from those areas. And that's really all I got to tell you today. It's going to be a short video. I'm not going to have an intro, not going to have an outro. I'm sure you already see that. Just want to get the message out there, and hopefully you guys stay safe. And going forward, if you live in a big city, like I do, I'd find a way out as soon as possible. I know some of you have circumstances in which that's not so easy, but even relocating outside of the city may be advisable. I don't see cities as a safe or viable option for anyone at this point, regardless of your circumstances. I just don't think it's safe. And again, that's my opinion. Take it or leave it. But I am in a city right now, and I do have some circumstances holding me back. But as soon as I can get out, I'm out. I'm done. There's no reason to be in the city right now. Anyway, I'm going to let it go at that. And you guys take my advice. Throw it in the trash on the way out, like I said. Yeah, it's totally up to you. But like I said, I would strongly encourage you that can legally carry right now to do so. And the rest of you, well, all of you, stay far away from those areas where you see traffic congestion, crowds gathering, obvious protesting. Stay away from downtown areas altogether. If you're in a major city, just stay away from downtown altogether. And that's going to be during the day, during the evening, doesn't matter at this point. If you work in a downtown area, I again would advise you to protect yourself by any means necessary, but I would advise you to maybe find another job. And I'm not joking. It may be time to get out of downtowns. If your major cities are anything like mine, it's turned into crime on a regular day, and what's coming is not going to be regular. Now I'm waffling, carrying on, rambling. I've made my point. I've repeated it like 5 times. But I think it's important you guys get this as soon as possible. Share it with your friends, family, loved ones, please. Because the more people that see this kind of information, the more people we can stop from being deleted. Okay? And that's my message for today. Until next time, Red Pill Rhino, signing out.